Welcome to episode 3 of AZ State of Hockey. I'm going to cheat a little bit here, alright? I've been meaning to talk about this for quite a while. Recently, I finally made a video about all the ASU alum that signed contracts this offseason. So what I'm going to do for the third episode of this podcast, I'm going to record this intro and then just give you the audio for that video. So I'm doing my best here. The D1 ACHA team just played U of A, so I should hopefully have an episode about that soon. The ASU women's team starts their season, I do believe, this upcoming week. So definitely check all that out. Thank you so much for watching, and here is that video. Or should I say audio for the video. How's it going? AZ Sports Guy here. I kept putting this video on the back burner, and then training camp's been going on for a while. I'm pretty sure the season starts in a week and a half. I'm just gonna do it now, right? Here are all the former Arizona State University hockey players that signed contracts in the offseason. Obviously, I already did an entire video talking about Josh Doan, but Josh Doan did sign a remaining of the season contract with Tucson last year, as well as his NHL ELC with the Coyotes starting this season, so we have 3 more years of Doan in Arizona. He is looking phenomenal this training camp and preseason, and while I still think he'll start off in Tucson, he's a lot more NHL ready than even I thought he was going to be at this point, and I've been high on him for a couple of years now. With that out of the way, here are all the players in chronological order. On July 5th, 2023, the Calgary Wranglers of the AHL signed a few players, including Calgary native and former Arizona State Sun Devil defenseman Jared Gorley. He signed a 2-year contract, so congratulations, Jared. You've done pretty good in my NHL 23 game, so hopefully that translates to the real NHL. AHL. You know what I mean. The very next day, on July 6, 2023, defenseman Jacob Shemek signed a 1-year contract to return to the Utah Grizzlies of the ECHL, playing with ASU alum like Johnny Walker. Shemek recorded 3 assists in 13 games for the Utah Grizzlies last season after the end of the ASU season, so at the very least, it does look like he left an impression on the team. I don't exactly have an ECHL team anymore because the Roadrunners left in like 2009, so go Grizz. Next up, on July 11, 2023, the Rockford Ice Hogs signed defenseman John Maniscalco. He played for ASU for 2 seasons between 2018 and 2020, and after a handful of years in the Pittsburgh Penguins system, he found himself playing mostly for the ECHL's Wheeling Nailers last season. He was an alternate captain there, playing in 31 games. The reason I mention that is because I want to draw a connection between that and a Pittsburgh native, Demetrius Kumunsis. Though it is worth noting he does personally say his hometown is Scottsdale, but he was technically born in Pittsburgh. He is an honorary Arizona native, alright? He did play for the Phoenix Junior Coyotes and ASU for all 5 seasons. After last season, he also played in 10 games for the Iowa Steelheads, the ECHL, recording 5 points, and his rights were officially relinquished by the Calgary Flames. He is now free to sign wherever he wants. Hopefully, that means Tucson. But if he doesn't, his major is in what? Communications? There's some good money in there. Next up, the one that breaks my heart. On August 20th, 2023, Robert Mastrosimone signed a 1-year contract with the Toronto Marlies. Mastrosimone led the Sun Devils last year in scoring with 11 goals and 31 assists for 42 points in just 38 games. He was also one of my 3 favorite players in the team last year, so TJ, you're all I got left. Mastro's a solid forward with a really good pass and a good drive for the game. Seriously, Toronto, you got a really good player here. I just kinda hate it because I hate Toronto. But seriously, best of luck in Toronto. And finally, as of September 18th, 2023, so not that long ago at all, Tucson Roadrunners re-signed former ASU captain Colin Tyson to a 1-year contract. Side note, Roadrunners Twitter, make sure you actually have the news up to date and have it in people's faces because I didn't know about this. I was bored of looking at Tucson news one day. Anyway, Tyson has played back-to-back partial seasons with the Tucson Roadrunners, starting in 2021-22 after his college stint was done, where he recorded 5 goals and 6 assists in 16 games. Then last year he didn't exactly make the roster out of camp. He did spend some time with the AHL affiliate, the Atlanta Gladiators, but he did play a good amount of the season with the Roadrunners, tallying 7 goals and 8 assists in 31 games. With Michael Carcone off the roster, it's going to leave a lot of open space for guys like Tyson and Donor to try to snag a bigger role in the team's offense. So, Colin, best of luck to you. And remember, if they feature you on the U of A or ASU thing they do in intermissions, forks up, baby. But before I end things, I would not have had all this information had it not been for Sun Devil Hockey News on Twitter. They're a phenomenal Twitter account that does their best to keep up with former ASU players, signings, and whatnot. I would have never thought to look at a team in Wales, see whether or not former ASU players signed there. But they do a good job, and they're the entire reason I was able to make this video. So please, go give them a follow, like, tell them AZ sent you. They're not going to know who I am, but it is what it is. That account deserves a lot more than 100 followers. Seriously, they do really good work over there. And that's all I got for you. Those are all the ASU alum that managed to sign contracts, and Demetrius Kumunsis, because of course I have to rep the AZ hometown kids, and I gotta make sure to highlight him a little bit, so there you go. Best of luck in the upcoming season, and hopefully at least a couple of you will end up making the NHL this year.